Okay. Mm. Hello everybody. So in the last session we had discussed with a few of the first module concept, continuation of this same first module concept will be discussed in today's session also. So the last session we had discussed with what? File system chapter or a Unix file itself. So what actually this Unix file refers to. So in this Unix file chapter, we are going to understand how the file system has been organized within a Unix. So in this, we do have three categories of file system or three categories of files. One is what? Ordinary file, directory file, and the last one is what? Device file. So these are the three files which we have already discussed in the previous session: the ordinary file, directory file, and device file. So what actually a file itself, in general, what actually the file refers to? So here file refers to what? It is nothing but it contains information within it, right? A raw information or raw data which will be there within the file. So this file can be categorized into in the Unix operating system into three categories: ordinary, directory, and device file. So ordinary file always it will have what? A stream of data, whereas directory file it will have what? It will be having the just a file associated file and directory files and the number associated with all those files. Okay, next device file is nothing but it's an external peripheral devices where in which you are going to inject your system. So all those files will be stored categorized under the category of device file, and all the files can be found under the directory called /device. Okay, so all your and this doesn't occupy any space within the system. And in an ordinary file itself, as I have discussed in the previous session, we do have two categories again, in which it's a stream of data which consists of both printable and non-printable characters. So printable character means what? So that is referred as what? Regular file. A non-printable character referred as what? A binary file. So regular file consists of a printable character, which means that the user is able to sense or feel the characters what you are going to edit within a system, or you will be in a position to view it or know it, what it is. Whereas a non-printable file and executable file which will not be known properly because it is one of the data in which after the execution of your end of the program, if I consider a C program itself, an object code and a executable code will be generated right after the compilation of your program or execution of a program, right? So those two files are nothing but non-printable data, okay, so which can't be printed properly. So that is what which belongs to under this ordinary file. Next, coming on to so those two category belong to an ordinary file. Direct file I have already said, device file as even I have said already. So along with this, even we have discussed with what few of the variable, that is one of the variable called home variable. Okay, so what actually this home variable does? So before knowing about this home variable, let me know what actually this file refers to. So file as I already said, so it contains an information. So file name, how we are going to provide. So file name can be provided with an alphabetical character, you can provide with a numeric character, you can use a circumflex, you can use dot, you can use underscore, you can use hyphen. So all these characters can be used for providing a name for a file. Okay, so it's not recommended to provide the file name as like this. Okay, so this is not recommended. Okay, so always do avoid, even though what provide you all to use the circumflex also for naming the file, but this is not recommended for providing a file name for any of the file which you have. So do use a characters with a continuous character or a number like this with a dot extension or with an underscore extension or with a hyphen extension like this. Okay, so all these are possible, but not the circumflex. It is not recommended. So next, so this is how we are going to provide the file name for a file within a Unix system. Next is home variable. So as I said, once the user has logged into the system, user will be placed under one of the directory called home directory. So for knowing whether he has placed under the directory home or not, you have to use this echo command, echo $home. So if you just execute this, it will display home slash Kumar like this. So this will be displayed. So Kumar user has been placed under the home directory. So this is how this home variable is. Okay, so home variable is nothing but it's an environmental variable, system built environmental variable. Okay, so if you to actually interpret this, you have to what use with an echo command. Next, we do have what after this we have discussed with the parent-child relationship. So parent-child relationship we have discussed. So what is this parent-child relationship? So as I've said in the feature of an Unix operating system, so Unix operating system, within this Unix operating system, we do have what complete file system which has been organized in Unix is very in an hierarchical manner. It has been organized. Okay, so here the organization of file has been arranged in a tree format structure. So if I consider, so all the files are related to one another in each and in the Unix operating system or in the Unix file system, each and every file which are associated to one another, and all these associated files have been arranged in hierarchical tree structure format, and all the files will be placed under the one main directory or the one of the drive which we call it as, that is root directory. So that is what it has been represented. So this also I have already shown in the previous session. I have explained this. So here home directory will be placed under this root directory, likewise user directory, bin directory, etc directory, or it might be device directory, device file directory. So all these directories will be placed under this. So under this home directory you can have subdirectory or any of the user directory. Under this user also you can have any of the other programming directory files also. Under this also you can have any programming drives or any library files also. So all these are what? This is how the hierarchical structure of a file system within the Unix operating or a Unix file system. So here, since each and every file, whether it is a device file or it is an ordinary file or it is a directory file, okay, so if I consider under this an ordinary file like .c file, so this is an ordinary file, okay, so all these files are placed under the root directory in a hierarchical structure. So pg.c is under the Kumar directory, Kumar is under home directory, home is under the root directory. So in a hierarchical manner it has been placed one below the other, which means that this is a parent directory, this is a child directory, and this is again a child directory for home, and this is child for Kumar, that is pg.c. So only we name this relationship as what? Parent-child relationship. So the file system organized within the Unix operating Unix system is what? In this manner. So even this concept has been discussed in the previous session. So along with this we had discussed with how to create a directory by using mkdir command, how to change the directory by using a cd command, how to remove a directory by using what? rmdir command. So these are the commands which has been given, and also I have shown in the previous class how there is the table format, how we are going to create a directory, how we are going to remove a directory. So in this Unix file system, the next concept is what? After understanding these, the next concept in this Unix system is what? Absolute path name and relative path name. So what is this absolute and relative path name refers to in the Unix system? So absolute path name is nothing but completely providing the path if you are accessing any one of the ordinary file. So for accessing that ordinary file where actually it has been placed, starting from its root directory, from root node to its leaf node, so complete directory path if you are providing means that path is known as what? Absolute path name. So let me consider one example here. So root, okay, under root I have home directory, okay, under home I have created Kumar directory, under this I have created one of the subdirectory pgm, under this I have p.text file, okay. So if I want to access this p.text file means I should be knowing where exactly it has been located, right? So this has been located under the directory subdirectory PGM. This PGM is located under the directory Kumar. Kumar is located under home directory. The home directory is located under root directory. So how do I specify that? So slash is the home directory followed by Kumar. Then under that a subdirectory, under that p.text. So this is the complete path is known as what? Absolute path name, providing the complete path starting from root to its leaf node is known as, or its child node is known as what? Absolute path name. Then what is this relative path name refers to? So relative path name here refers to what? So instead of accessing like this, so what if in case if the user want to know its current directory? So every time instead of providing using a CD and providing the name of that current directory, you can just use two of the symbols for accessing the, without providing its absolute path name. You can just directly give what? CD current directory, that is for knowing its current directory with a dot operator. Likewise with two dot operator. So this represents current directory, single dot represent current directory, whereas double dot represent parent directory. Okay, so CD dot represents a current directory, CD double dot represents a parent directory. So if the user want to, instead of providing its complete path name and getting into its directory, we can just use these two cryptic notation for that is knowing its parent directory and its current directory. So what if in case if I consider the same thing, same path, so if I want to know its current directory means of this PGM, so let me assume you are under the directory like this, home root directory home, Kumar and PGM. So now if I want to know the current directory of this PGM means, or its this means, so then I can just give what? CD dot. So this will change me with what? It is going to display me with the current directory like home slash Kumar slash PGM. So if I want to know the PGM parent directory means, you can change the directory by providing what? Two double dot. So this will display you with, this is the command prompt. Okay, dollar symbol is the command prompt which will be by default it will be displayed once you open your terminal. Slash Kumar slash home slash Kumar. So this is the parent directory for this PGM. So if you want to enter into its parent directory, instead of changing the giving the directory name as slash home slash Kumar, to change like this, instead of giving its absolute path name like this, you can just give what? Two double dot like this, like as I have provided previously, like what? This. So this is what your relative path name refers to. So instead of providing an absolute path name, you are going to give relatively its path name. That is relatively, instead of providing its complete path name, you are, by using these two notation, you are going to relate the files or directory names will be provided. So this is about your absolute path name and relative path name. So the next concept in this, I hope you people have understood with these two concepts. So after this, we do have one of the concept in the Unix system, Unix file system, that is ls command. So no, it is going to list out the directory contents, file content. Okay, so ls displays and list the file content, what actually it does. So this is what it is going to do, ls command. So we do have few of the options. So I have already mentioned you with what a command structure in the initial class of the this module. Like in the command, any of the Unix command, it is going to accept an option as well as an argument, right? So here we do have for this ls command few of the options for listing out this file content. Okay, so I have a capital -x. So this -x is going to get you what? Multi-columnar output. Multi-columnar output, whereas capital R represent recursive, it is going to list directories and files recursively. Okay, and -a, it shows hidden files. All the hidden files in the Unix system will be listed out with a dot notation. So if a dot profile file is there, means this is an hidden file. Okay, so this is an hidden file. Next, we do have one more option, that is -l. Okay, likewise we do have -u. So this will let you know the last modification, last modification time of file. Sorts, this is going to sort the files with last modified time. Okay, whereas -u sort the file with last access time. Okay, likewise we do have one more option within this ls, that is -f and capital F and capital X, small x. So this -f here, it is going to list out with the directories and executable files. All the directory files and executable files will be listed out with -f. Small x here, it lists the content of directory files. List out the contents of directory files. So these are the few of the options which is used with the ls command. So along with this ls option, you have to provide an argument, that is an argument for this ls command, it's the file name, because if you want to know any one of the particular file content, means then you're going to use all these options. You can either provide, just since I have already discussed with what actually the output of it will going to be displayed. So what kind of an information it will be displayed with these options when you execute with an ls command. So this is going to get you the multi-columnar output. If I have more than one file under one of the directory, means programming file, so instead of displaying one below the other, it will be displayed in a multi-columnar output. Likewise, listing the directories and the files recursively and showing the hidden files. Sort the files with last modification time. Sort the file with last access time. We do have one more option, that is small r. So this is going to sort the files in an ASCII collating sequence. Okay, so these are the few of the options. Sorry, it is going to sort the files in reverse order. So these are the few of the options which are used for the in the ls command. And this we do have one more option, that is -t. So as I said, like last time I said that -l is used for sort the file with last modification time. -l is not used. Instead, it is used with what? -t. Okay, -t is used for sorting the files with last modified time. Likewise, -small l. So -small l is used for displaying file with ASCII values. Okay, so that is what -l refers to. So in an ASCII collating sequence, it is going to display or sort the file, and it is going to display the file list. So that is -l option is used. These are the few of the options for ls command. So I hope you people have understood this. So I'm going to show you the practical session of this, also how it will be executed in while through online access. That is how these commands have been executed. Okay. So next, in the file system, we do have the next concept is Unix file system itself. So what is this Unix file system? How the Unix file system has been organized within the also want to talk with respect to an administrator point of view, and if you want to know the different file system which has been associated in the Unix file system means, so that can be categorized into two categories. One is with the system installation files. During the system installation, few of the files will be available, okay, and the other category represents with temporary files. So if I consider the system installation file, okay, so we do have here, one is user/user bin file, okay. Next we do have bin and user/sbin. Likewise, we do have etc. We do have user/share/man device file. We do have one more file, that is device file. We do have library file under this itself. User/include file. So these are the few of the files which are provided under the system installation while the system has been installed with the Unix operating system. So this bin and user/bin. So this bin directory and user/bin directory always refers with respect to the directories where all your commonly used files will be stored. Okay, your programming files will be stored under this directory. If I consider this bin and /user/bin directory means, so here those files which can't be accessed by a common user commonly, so all those files which are not accessed commonly by the user means, so only an administrator can access means all those files will be stored under this directory. Coming on to etc file, so this always gets you with what etc. Under this etc file, it contains all the configuration files of the Unix system. Next, user/share/man file. So within this user/share/man, it is going to get you all your man documentation commands. All those files will be stored under this man documentation. As I have specified, it's an online browsing information which has been provided for each and every command the user want to know with respect to Unix. Onlinely, if you want to know which and all the commands and what is the usage of it, what is the syntax of that command, so all those will be stored under this directory. Device file, as I have specified, device file is nothing but this will show you all your external device file will be stored under this device file. So library files, so if any of the libraries supported files for the programming, that will be stored under this library file or user/bin file. In this user/include, all your standard header files will be stored for any of the programming will be stored under this user/include. Okay, so this is what one of the category which has been categorized with respect to administrator point of view. Next is what temporary file. Second category of Unix system is temporary file. Within this we do have /tmp directory, var directory, and next is what home directory. So temporary, all your temporary files will be stored under the tmp directory, whereas in the var all your printable jobs and all your mailing content will be stored within the var directory file. And home directory, in the name itself it says that all your how many users, who and all the user is going to use the system, so that information will be placed under the directory home. So this is about your system directory files, Unix system directory files, what actually all these files contains. Okay, so this is about your Unix file system. So apart from this, what we have talked so far in the Unix file, so we have talked with three categories of file, ordinary, directory and device. Next we have talked about the parental relationship. Next we have talked about creating a directory, changing a directory, then removing a directory, and also we have talked with absolute path name, relative path name. We have talked with respect to ls command options. Next we have even understood which and all the directory files have been associated within the Unix file system for accessing a device file, accessing a directory file, or accessing a normal programming files, or it is an administrative it might be a library file or any standard header files or temporary file or var file. So we have discussed with all these files within this files Unix file system. So here so far I have just discussed with the directory files and its creation of it and all, right. So there are few of the commands which are basically used for only for a files itself, that is only for a files, normal files, not the directory files and normal files. Okay, so those file accessing commands within this Unix are: one is copying command, copy command with cp. So it accepts two arguments. One is so if I want to copy pg1.text to pg2.text, you have to provide like this. So this accepts again two of the options. One is -i and one more is -r. So -i here represents what? So it is going to represent with -i represent an interactive copying, whereas this represent a directory structure. So if the user want to actually know, like while copying, if you want confirmation saying that whether the content of that one file will be copied to another file, yes or no, that is if he wants a confirmation means, so then he has to use that command with I option like this. Okay, likewise -r, it is a directory structure. So if the user want to copy the one of the directory file to another directory file means we can use this -r. So pgm/pg.txt, pgm/pg2.txt, like this. So this is one more option used with the copy command. Next is we do have one more command, that is cat command. So what is this cat command represent? So cat command is nothing but in the Unix here it is used for viewing the file content. So if the user want to know what all the content have been stored within the one of the file means, he can just use cat followed by pg1.text. So this is going to below this command after the execution or editing of this command, and after execution of this command it will display what and all the content have been there within the pg1.text, that will be displayed and command prompt will be prompted here. So that is what this cat command does. So it is used for displaying the file content or viewing the file content. So here we do have one of the option. One is -n option can be used for cat command, and one more option used here is what? -v. So -v here it is used for displaying the non-printing characters. So if the user want to display a non-printing characters, then he can use what? With the cat command, cat -v pg1.text. And if the user want to display line numbers for each and every content of that pg1.text file, a line number should be displayed for each and every line within that pg1.text file means you can use this -n option for the command cat. So -v is used for printing the displaying the non-printing characters within a text file, or it might be any of the text file of a Unix file system. -n for displaying the numbering. So along with each and every line while displaying here, first line number, second line number, third line number, like this it will be. Numbering will be prefixed for each and every line of that particular file. So this is how you will get the output if you use -n for the cat command. So this is about your cat command and copy command. So if we have known about this copy command and cat command, so next command in this is what? rm command. Rm represents what? Rm represents removing a file or deleting a file. So rm command is removing a file or deleting a file. So here also you can give a single file.text file. So this is going to be removed, or rm star.c also. So if we have in a directory more than 10 C programming file, and if I want all those 10 C programming file has to be removed, so you can provide directly with star.c. So star represent here, it is going to match with any character of the file name. So whatever the file name might be, assume that I have the file name as pg1.c, pg2.c, cam.c, addition.c. So all these files will get deleted if you just give rm star.c, because here it is going to star is going to match with any of the character, whatever the character I have specified at the left hand side. So .c, with the .c extension, all the files will get deleted. So that is what star.c represents here. Likewise, I have star.star also. So if you give star.star means it might be under any extension, C extension, PG extension, or P extension, or it might be CPP extension. All your files will get deleted if you give star.star. So for this also we do have two options. One of the option is I, and the next option is R. So here also I option is for interactive removing a file. That is, if the user want to get a confirmation whether that file has to be removed or not, so he can do that by what? He can do that with this. That is by using this -i. Likewise, next is what? -r. That is recursively, if you want to remove all the directory files, means he can remove by using this -r. Likewise, forcibly, if the file has to be removed, at that time you can use what? -f command with the rm, like rm-f pg.txt file. Okay, so this is about your rm command. So the next command with this file accessing is wc command. So what is this? Sorry, before getting into wc command, mv command, moving a file, or you can move a file from one, more than one file can be moved to one of the directory, or you can rename the file. So if I have an existing file like pg1.c, if I want to rename this pg1.c with add.c means, you can do that by using this command mv. So if it is already existing, so it is going to just rename it. If it is not, it's going to just replace it, the content of this, to this file. If the file is not existing means, it is going to create that file add.c. So that is what one of the feature of this mv command. Next, mv command is used for what? Moving a file. So you can move more than one file to one of the directory like this, pgm directory. So pg1.c, pg2.c, pg3.c file can be moved to what? pgm directory. So this is about your mv command. So the next command within this is what? wc command, that is word count. So if the user want to know file.txt, so under this, if you are executed like this, 4 lines, 18 words, 30 character with the file dot text file, or let me take 5, it might be getting confused, p dot text file. So this 4 represent number of lines, this represent number of words, this represents number of characters. So if specifically if you want to display number of lines, number of words, and number of characters, so for lines -l option has to be used. Okay, so for word -w has to be used. For this -c has to be used. So these are the 3 options used for wc command. Okay, so this is about the wc command, and of course you have to provide the argument. So p dot text, here also p dot text, p dot text. So this will display 30, this will display 18, this will display 4. So this is what the output for wc command if you have provided the argument. So in this, the last command of this file system is file accessing command. Here is od command. So what is this od command? So this is going to display with what? Displays the data in octal value. So if there are non-printable characters, that is executable characters to be displayed, means at that time we are going to use this od command. So od-b c, so this is going to display the characters. B is used for displaying the ASCII values of that. So here you can give just any of the file. So file dot text, and if it is there, means under the, if this is a non-executable, that is executable file, content has to be displayed for this, means. So for W, if I have the content like this, okay, so if I have the content like this, means, so it is going to display, so it is going to display the output in an ASCII value like this, 151, 164, 145, 040. So for space also we do have the value, ASCII value 160, 141. So the ASCII value of all these will be displayed with an octal. So the octal value for control I, for octal value for control I is 011. For control D, that is bell character, it is 007, that is /A. Okay, so this is how it is going to display the octal value. The data will be displayed in an octal value. So this is about your OD command. So these are the few of the commands used for accessing the files, like CP command, RN command, NV command, cat command, WC command, and finally one of the command is OD command. Apart from this, we do have few of the commands along with this also, but as of now, these are the few commands which has been described in your syllabus for we all to understand. So this is about your Unix file system, and this is about your complete first module. So in the first module, we have discussed so far introduction of Unix, difference between Unix operating system and Windows operating system, history of Unix operating system, and also we have discussed the architecture, features of Unix operating system, and basic commands of Unix operating system, and even we have discussed with what Unix environment, in which it comprises three categories again: time sharing, personal computer, and last one is client server computing environment. And also we have discussed with the super user how the user management creation can be done with the root login or with the super user login, that is system admin login. So SU is one of the command which is used for acquiring the super user status, right? So user management, how to create a user, how to delete a user, how to create a group, all these things we have discussed. So, and lastly we have discussed the file system. In the file system we have discussed with what actually a Unix file system is all about, what is the relationship of parent-child relationship within the Unix file system, and the creation of Unix file system, three categories of Unix file system, and we have discussed with the how to create a directory, how to change a directory, removing a directory, and not by the least we have discussed with the file accessing commands. So this is about your first module. So this completes your first module. If you so any query, please do. But if you have this, if you actually, I hope this information is enough. So for further queries, we will be providing the notes also. You can just go through that and you can ask us also. So thank